What's going on, guys? It's your guy, Professor O, coming through with a dose of that good. Yo, come everywhere like broken glass, I'm around like a circle. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round. Now, today I want to talk about why the enemy was always lose. You see that? I didn't have to look at the handy dandy notebook. Don't make it hot. It's always on the spot. Very proud of me. Remember the topic because I'm sexy. But you can dig it. Now, what I've been doing recently is giving like a brief summary before I get into the points I've written down. I kind of like that. So we're going to keep on flowing and going with that because it is showing. Well, my views haven't really increased yet, but it still sounds and looks good. So we're gonna keep rocking with that. Wow, the enemy was always well. First and foremost, you must realize the enemy is already fighting for the position of loss. The battle's already been won. Jesus did this thousands of years ago. I really need people to understand that. I'm not really going to expel too much into it, but understand that yes, it's going to be haters. You know, you're either encouraging or discouraging. There is no in between, like literally. And you'll figure out which one you are when you know who you are. Some people genuinely inside are haters, and that's fine. And you have people who are genuinely motivators and lovers. And how do I say? Ambitioners. I don't know how to say it, but pretty much haters and motivators. And that's totally fine. You just have to be who you are and know who you are. And you will know exactly who you are based on not only the decisions you make, but the choice you choose in your situations. You know what I mean? Like, just what makes you feel good. You got to realize there are people out, excuse me, you got to realize there are entities out there that truly feel beautiful when they're doing good. And you have other entities out there that truly feel beautiful when they're doing evil. It's literally causes the same effect. It's just one is doing something that's benevolent while the other is doing something that's malevolent. That's just what it is. So let me get right into it. Being righteous and just is way more beneficial than the opposite. And again, it is. And this is for me. Because again, I've met, you'd be surprised, some really evil people out there, but it's crazy. And I'm not sitting here saying that I'm perfect, I'm infallible, and I'm just singing, I'm very relatable. If you converse with me, you actually get to know me, and you're not on the bullshit, then yeah, I'm very relatable, personable, and we can actually have a decent, good conversation. But for me personally, it just feels good doing good. Feels good to be helpful and kind, just stand at third and smiling. It is what it is. Some people don't like that. Some people feel good by doing bad. They like to see hurt. They like to see pain. They get like high from it. I have no idea. Me personally, I get high from doing good. Like I like it. It feels good. Like, oh wow, I helped this person out. It's very good. Nah, don't worry about it. It's totally fine. I'm never lacking. You know what I mean? God is always going to provide for me. And if God showed me grace, why shouldn't I do likewise? Literally. So do it. It's not that big of a deal. You're overthinking, trying to reinvent the wheel here. You can't do it. It's already been done. Like, I digress, right? Whatever. Evil literally is always from your flesh and heart. Now, I need you to understand this because your flesh has an opinion. And this is when pride, ego kicks in. And it'll really go against things that are right. You know what I mean? It really would go against things that are right. Because a lot of things entered into this planet when the fall happened. You know what I mean? With Adam and Eve, a lot of things happened. Like misery came in, shame, guilt, unaccountability. So many things kicked in when that happened. Because you also have to realize, like, just to give like a brief little, again, that's an opinion, you can do your due diligence. But when the fall happened and, they said their eyes opened up, which they did, you got to realize it's like giving a child a blunt. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, they're like 9 years old and you giving them a blunt. You know what I mean? And this is full with za, like exotic, top shelf, And trust me, I used to smoke way back in the day. I do not partake in any of those drugs anymore. But this is something to give an example for those who do and for those experience or any type of, substance that will give you a euphoric feeling or the euphoric experience. It's literally giving like a 9-year-old child that. And then, you know, they don't know. They haven't experienced fully life. They have everything. Their tools is up to par. They have everything that is top shelf. And then you give them a blunt, and then it just pops their head. And then everything is just, the floodgates has been open, things like and third. But you don't know. They don't know what's happening this time and third. Like, they're just, they don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you're giving something that you need to gain from experience before you get it at a sooner rate. Because the quicker, you got to realize speed is everything, but sometimes you need to know when it's your time, because you'll be able to handle it. You'll be able to understand and appreciate it more. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that story in the Bible. It's one of my favorite stories. I'm long-winded. You know that. So just bear with me. It was one of the stories, it was a son, and I believe it was the prodigal son. One of them. I get the phrases confused, but anyway, the son had inheritance, and he asked his father. He said, "Father, I want my part of the inheritance." So the father gave him his inheritance. And what did the son do? The son left town. The son left, and he went out there boogalooing and partying it up. He was getting to it. Like, you don't even understand. Like, he was doing it all, and he squandered his inheritance. As he squandered his inheritance, a famine. A famine hit the town, and then when the famine hit the town, he was not doing well at all. Like, I'm talking about really, really just living in the gutters, just like cleaning up pigsty, becoming like he was hey man, my father's servants is living better than me. Then he just stopped and said, "Yo, man, I can't do this no more. I'm going back to my father's house. I can't take this no more." So when he went to his father's house, he seen from a distance. His father looked out and see his son coming. He said, "Oh, yo, oh my God, that's my son, yo. Listen, kill the biggest calf, get the ring, get the robe, put it on his finger, make sure he has some slippers on. He's looking dusty out here. Hurry up, that's the time to shine." Right? They went, got him, they threw a robe on him, put a ring on him, put the crown, all that. And, you know, he's grateful this time there. And the other son there, he never left, but he was very, you know, confused and angry. He was like, "Oh, father, how you going to do this?" Like, he went, squandered his inheritance. I never left you. I was here the whole time doing the cleaning up, taking care of the barn, all that. He's like, son, you don't understand. For you, you always have your inheritance. You will always be with me. But from him, I thought he was dead, but he's alive. And it's so profound from that. Like, it's so much profoundness, but at the same time, it's a story, and then understanding that the child realized at a later point where, you know, it was just a life story. Whatever, I digress. But at the same time, you know, he didn't understand the weightiness of having his inheritance at an earlier time. But if he would have grown into it and gained it, then he would have understanding. You know what I mean? When you matured, he would have, excuse me, look at that, don't use that term. When he developed, he would have had more understanding. But again, I digress, right? We're moving forward. And it's always from your flesh and heart. And when I say that, now your heart, you got to realize the heart is where it's the passion, the emotion. And also when it comes to emotion, you got to realize when people say you're emotional, you got to also realize we're not talking about when you're just boo-hoo sad. Emotions could be happy, giddy, euphoric, or it can be rageful, wrathful, etc. so forth. So your heart has a wide range of emotions and expression. Hence the reason why it has a bigger energetic electromagnetic field. But I don't really want to get into that as well. But just do your due diligence. It does. And it's able to generate a little bit more power than your brain can, because your brain it's like an antenna. But I digress. I'm getting too deep into that. Well, understand that that's why the heart can go flux and this, that, and third. And there's also a reason why your heart is at the bottom and the mind and your brain is at the top. But I digress. Because also realize when there's passion, there may also be rage. I digress. It's a reason why your brain is at the top, why your heart is at the bottom. I said that. The enemy has nothing over healing. Healing is essential for growth and protection. And I need you to realize that. That's why the enemy will always lose, because we got to realize a lot of my videos here, if you notice, I'm always talking about inner work. I'm always talking about healing. I'm always talking about addressing your trauma, addressing that point where it makes you so sensitive that you can't have a regular conversation, or there may be a noise or a scent or a word or a certain experience that just drives you into a negative point or puts you in some type of negative perspective, right? I need you to realize that it's so much more beneficial for you to do the healing in yourself. And you're going to have moments. Again, here we go. It's not the aha moment or the eureka. It's when the light turns on inside and you're seeing the problem for what it is. You're seeing the dirt that you keep stomping on when you go into the room or when you go inside, when the light turns on. And it's up to you at that point to address it. That means, why am I feeling this way? What makes me act this way? You know what I mean? Where is this coming from? And you may not even have all the answers. You may not know why. You may not know where it even came from. But you have all responsibility to find out what it is and how can you overcome it. And that is enough. Sometimes, this isn't a perfect world. It's called life, not paradise. You're not going to get your where it came from, and you may not even get the why. You got to realize you got to close that chapter. You may not get that closure on where it came from and why it came from. Just understand that it's there, and being that it's there, you know what it is, and now it's about addressing it to either refine it and turn it into something positive or remove it completely, because it's hindering your growth, it's hindering your perspective, and it's time to be able to develop in a proper way. Because if you're going towards a path and you're bringing in that baggage, you're treading heavy. You know what I mean? You're not light anymore. You won't be able to bounce. You know what I mean? You got to be light on your feet. You got to be able to you got to be twinkle toes out here. You got to be able to be smooth and cool at all times. You got to do it with the do. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't do that, and if you can't truly address what's inside, address the point because it's making you sensitive, etc. and so forth, or you just want to ignore it completely, understand that that's a wound that may fester and may get more infected. Something's going to happen to the point where you won't be able to develop to your desired result, or it's going to take a little bit longer because you refuse to go in to see what's happening, what's causing the issues. I digress. Jesus won the battles for thousands of years ago. They can't repeat nor undo what he did. That's like repeating elementary school when you're in line to receive your cap and gown to graduate college. That's it. That's the point right there. I don't even need to expound more on that. Like literally. Can't do it. Like, come on. The enemy will only use your weaknesses against you, childhood trauma, insecurities, etc., etc. The enemy will never come up with anything new because it may not be applicable to their target. Realize this. You got to realize the enemy doesn't have anything new to come up with. He can only address you from things that are, how can I say this? Like, the enemy can only address you when it's something that has already happened, or to make you unconfident about something that's already yours. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a sucker way. I can't even explain it, but it's like, how can I say? The enemy will come up with will never come up with anything new. It just won't be new. Just understand that. He'll only address childhood trauma, things that he knows that you've already experienced. Literally. Overcome. Do the inner work. And then when you do the inner work, you'll be able to shine brightly. You'll be able to look official. You'll be able to do things that are official because God wants you to be official, period. That's just what it is. Ain't no in-betweens on that one. Yeah, you get it. Oh yes, one of my favorite scriptures. You haven't been given a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. Period from there. You never needed to be worried, but informed. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'll leave it alone like that. That was a good one. God is patient, the devil is not. God is all about giving you blessings and abundance. The devil will gift you with terms and conditions. Series that, point blank period. Long as you lining up and you doing righteous and you're not just a hero of the word, but a doer of the word, you're going to be blessed. Like literally, you're going to be blessed. God is not about doing evil. God's about being official, being cool, being smooth, and just really just being an overall good individual. It isn't hard. It isn't difficult. And the only reason why you may think it's hard, you may think it's difficult, because you're being prideful. You're taking on responsibility for the situation. It's not that deep. You know what I mean? Yo, this person, I ain't gonna front, man. I don't know. This dude talked to me crazy the other day, this, that, and the third. Why are you holding on to something that already happened? Are you not growing? Are you the same individual who you were yesterday? And if you are, that's an issue, because you're supposed to learn something new every day. So the minute you learn something new, you just become a different version of yourself. And if you became a different version of yourself, why are you holding on to past things that happened? Now, I'm not sitting here to say you tolerate foolishness and don't, forget it. Forgive and forget. That's stupid. Because then if you forget, you're going to keep repeating the same issue. Forgive, remember, but don't hold it against, don't hold it against the individual. Grow. You got to realize you can't grow if you're holding on to something that already happened in the past. Do you still fit them shoes you wore when you was 2 years old? No, you do not. You're growing, and you want to continue to keep growing, etc. and so forth. Again, that's an analogy, but you get it. And yeah, and that's it. That's all the points right there. So again, this message is for the adept out there, for the master, the expert, the proficient, efficient, the self-efficient, the one that's always doing it and never losing it. That's growing, that's glowing, that's going at all times. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. And remember, do good, speak good, see good. Because when it is good, it's all good. Can you dig it? And for the haters out there that love looking at your boy, hey, make sure you look at my good side, because you know I'm sexy. Can you dig it? Yeah, I think you can. Peace, love, and light. See you guys in the next video.